Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as Germany, episode number 28. It has been 28 episodes, and we're in 1928, so somehow we've continually stayed on this progression of just averaging one episode per year. And sometimes it's one episode, or for like 3 years, and sometimes it's 3 episodes for 1 year, but the average is still working out that way. Now, one of the things I'm considering doing, I mentioned this a few times in the role-playing comments, is there's been some good role-playing, obviously, by John, I forget your last name, Grisby or something like that, Brisby, maybe. So we know that, my device wants to restart. No, I'm sorry, Windows. We know that the Falkland Islands have rebelled and declared their independence, very similar to the way the Marshall Islands declared their independence. And we know that it was the Italians who, in the end, were assisting the rebels. I'm very tempted to give the Marshall Islands to the Italians, just to mod it. It's easier to mod it for other nations that are not your own. I think the modding issue I had last time, actually, the error I had, several people reported they've had without doing any modding, so I think it's just an error with the game. And if I'm not adding coastal guns, that was like the real tricky part, so I won't be doing that next time. But the thing I wanted to say is having the nations rebelling, the colonies rebelling and being neutral, actually takes them out of the pool of eligible colonies for anyone. Now there at least is one event, but I think there are multiple events which allows you to gain a colony. It's one of them. We see that people there's an uprising, and if we race to it, we can pacify the locals or something like that, and basically incorporate that colony into your nation. That's one event, and there might be others that aren't coming to mind immediately where you can gain colonies. So be that as it is. I don't think that's the easiest. That's an event which is going to trigger very often, and it's not likely to fire. It could fire for anything, but I don't think it's likely to fire for the Falkland Islands and the Marshall Islands. So I'm probably going to give the Marshall Islands to Italy to continue the roleplay. And I'm actually going to give the Falkland Islands to continue the roleplay of John Brisby to the Americans. In his roleplay, he basically said that the uprising people need some support so that Argentina doesn't take them over. And they would turn either to Germany or the United States. But I don't feel like taking a colony cheaply. We won't edit in any more colonies for ourselves. But now with the extra money that we have, I still think it's time for us to build yet another Sturmbringer. And, the Karl Donitz. Wow. He is somebody, at least, right now. Probably not as famous as he would have been, or as he is for us, at least. So, Karl Donitz, Sturmbringer, number 5, and that's fine. We're only at -10, and we have nothing else building, so these are going to take a long time to complete. So we cannot overburden this too much because there's nothing to come to our aid, basically. They're interested in buying it. Yes. Separate carrier force I don't really care about. Okay, benefit to our fleet tactics, to our research efforts and naval lighter than air. We don't really care about that. Triple turrets on light cruisers, okay. Well, in this playthrough, again, we've seen that light cruisers are basically dead. People are already, essentially, episode 25 has already gone out, so we're a few episodes ahead still. Eventually, I will lose ground on this, and we'll get people will be more closely aligned with the timetable of my releases. Anyway, for now, you're a little bit in the past, but everyone has complained, well, not everyone, several people have complained about this weird upside-down pyramid of capital ships, which is only fair. You shouldn't have an equal number of battleships and battlecruisers as you do destroyers. It just doesn't make any sense. And we do want to combat it by going very, very torpedo heavy, because I think that's one way we can possibly gain some ground. So we're basically going to be modeling our fleet. Oh, I guess one thing that is really good against that kind of setup is actually to build carriers. So I do have a carrier in mind. As you can see, there's the superstructure. which gives away a little bit of what I'm planning. I do like this one better than the other one that was designed or auto-generated for us. So I'll give maximum publicity. France, make him a national hero. Armor development, okay. Wow, 2% weight savings on armor. That would have been very, very nice to have for the now 2 months in on the Sturmbringer. It looks like the Sturmbringer herself won't be the first ship produced because she already had some kind of construction halt. Yeah, well, oh, early AA director. That's actually fantastic. So we can probably refit some ships now. Let's just go through the motions. Refitting, we're only at negative 6 million. We have plenty of money basically in the bank. For those of you who are not using, wow, that's... For those of you who are not using dual purpose guns, we don't need director firing. Director, I guess, certainly helps dual purpose guns hit aircraft targets. And I believe it also helps medium anti-aircraft guns, which are basically like the American Bofors. Something like a 40mm gun. So in this case, since they're just relying on light anti-aircraft guns here, there are some weight savings, which I'm not sure where they've come from. We can go with Advanced Director, and then, I guess, since we don't have medium guns, which I really would like... Okay, let's just see if this is fine. And let's look at this rebuild cost of 3.4 million. How much is it to decrease this? Okay, it's fine. I think we want to decrease the 16-inch guns down a fair amount to 8 per side, perhaps. They're in turrets. We don't really need them as much. We're now a little bit more worried about aircraft. Now, these are still going to smoke, just destroy any kind of light cruisers and destroyers. But as we already saw, there's a lot less of those around now, so they're not really as important to counter. Instead, I'd like to get 16 of these, which I believe is acceptable. And then we'll want 4 directors, which is going to cut down on the number of... Ah, perfect. So 3 light anti-aircraft guns, 4 AA directors, and 16 dual-purpose guns. I like it. It's not too expensive of a rebuild. We'll still have 8 6-inch guns per side. This thing is basically turning into... Okay, so I don't want to spoil my strategy, but let me just spoil my strategy. I have an idea of how I want to play the rest of this. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I kind of wanted to, announce this while I was making the carrier. But I guess it's going to come into play even when I'm designing these ships. These Hohenzollerns are going to be relegated to Southeast Asia. In fact, they are not going to be alone. The Gneisenau's are also going to be relegated there. And the main thing I want for these ships is the ability to kind of hold their own while carriers act. So essentially what I want is a carrier which is capable of operating in Southeast Asia, in Northeast Asia, and basically anywhere in the Pacific, possibly in Africa, the Indian Ocean. I want carriers operating in all these places, and I'm going to assume that we don't need carriers in Northern Europe. We'll probably have a carrier or two, or maybe even the light carriers that have already been produced, the conversions, just to produce cap. They might be pure 100% fighters to defend us, and I don't know if this is how I'll go with things or not, but this is at least my current thinking as it is right now. So anyways, this is going to be this is going to be able to take out anything which is not a dreadnought or a battlecruiser. Definitely. The problem is that there's nothing below that until you get to destroyers, so... In some sense, it almost makes more sense to eliminate my L turret. This is so weird. It almost makes more sense to eliminate the L turret, keep our secondaries, and then go crazy with the anti-aircraft guns. Which sounds absurd, but basically I don't know what... I don't know what this thing's role is in the world, because there's no... heavy cruisers, there's no light cruisers. So, anyways, she's still going to be a strategic dreadnought. And she's going to have some fairly decent... Wait. What about 4-inch guns? Okay, is Is it crazy? Maybe it is crazy. Yeah, okay, so we have to have that third turret. Darn it. It's just making sure that that's the case. I guess if this is fast enough, you can actually get battlecruisers with only 2 turrets. But how much is bulging going to cost? She's not going to be able to do anything as it is right now in terms of keeping up with... So the 3-inch guns would work, but I just think we'd be better off with 4-inch guns. And I want the max, which I think is... yeah. Oh, wait. Huh. Are they going to let me get 22 even? Wow. Okay, this is huge. I think we actually have a reason to bulge this thing. It's not going to be getting out of the way of anything at 20 knots. What does it matter if it's... And actually, this adds torpedo defense to it too, which is an added benefit I wasn't even thinking about. This means that we can keep our number of secondaries the same. And we can still get advanced director. It's really not that expensive of a refit. It's only 4 months. It's 5.7, well, call it 5.8 million total. We need this. Damn it. So actually, we do need to drop this by a little bit just so we can get all the AA directors I want, but this is good. Wow, holy cow. This is quite nice. Okay, so we can go Tommy on the machine gun, or Hans, I guess. Hans on the machine gun. We have 104 weight left over still, which is... Okay, everything is fine right now. I think upgrading this might... Yeah, so we can drop turrets, but we cannot increase them. How can we get around this extra weight? I mean, I guess the alternative is we can, forget about losing speed and take off the bulge. But the bulge is for torpedo defense, which is actually, I think that's actually really important to us. I feel pretty comfortable bulging this thing. The only reason I can't knock these up even more is just because we don't have the AA positions available. Oh my god, we do. I just didn't do dual turrets. Okay. Oh my gosh. When pigs fly. Holy cow. Wow, this is amazing. What the heck? It's like perfect. A voice from the heavens says... Yeah, that's the kind of feeling I get when things work out this perfectly. You know, one of the things we really could have done is added a seaplane hangar to this thing and allowed it to have some scouts. It's so perfect the way it is that I'm a little reluctant to do that. Yeah, we just don't have the space for it without knocking down our pretty intensely amazing anti-aircraft stuff. Now, what's the advantage of all these dual-purpose guns? Not just that it can defend itself, but that it should project its firepower pretty well to over other neighboring ships. Now, we'll see. This is all just, in theory, right? Okay, let's save this thing and call it done as is. I'm very happy with this design, and we will keep it around for a while. Okay, we don't need to do the Gneiss now, but I mean, war with Italy looming in the future. This would have been a good conversion, frankly, because I don't like the cross-deck fire, but it's already there, and I don't see any reason to make things worse. We don't want to lose 3 for bulging this one. Secondaries are in casemates, which is terrible. We may end up dropping that. Luckily, we have light anti-aircraft guns, which can go away. Not really going to help us very much, though, I'm afraid. Yeah, that's not very helpful. This thing already does have torpedo defense. I really don't want to bulge it. 3 knots is too much to lose. So this one might just end up not having... It might just be... Even though this is a better actual carrier protection ship, it won't be able to contribute anything in terms of dual purpose guns, which makes it a little bit less useful. Okay, let's go back and design it from scratch. This might be like kind of like my scout. Alternatively, we could just crank out a lot of individual light anti-aircraft guns, keep it from being hit too often itself. It's really not that expensive. Well, I guess that's not expensive, but what will be expensive is putting a catapult on as well. Oh, we haven't even invented them. Okay. Well, fair enough. I think this is what we'll end up doing for the Gneiss now. She'll be okay at protecting herself, if not really particularly good at adding any kind of anti-aircraft to the fleet in general. Yeah, I almost forgot Advanced Director. And I think this is fine. Obviously, a lot of people have asked me why I don't replace machinery. This is a good question. I mean, I get asked it in every series probably 10 times. So we'll just do the usual thing. I may have already said this 4 or 5 times during this series. I think I have said it at least once. But for those of you who weren't paying attention, I don't do replace machinery because it's extremely expensive. So I will say this, I will rebuild these. It's going to be a very quick way to knock out a lot of money. But that's okay. We actually want to be below halfway, below half of the yearly budget. I guess that's when you can start getting events, which in which the the governor or whatever, prime minister, in our case the Kaiser, but anyway, some kind of government official will take the money and give it to other people. Aircraft carrying airships. Well, that's interesting, but can't say it's particularly important now that we have, instead of airship carrying airships, we have naval ship carrying airships. No, wait. Aircraft carrying naval ships. As for the Blukers, they need Advanced Director. And with their very limited amount of space remaining, I really want these guys to get... boy. You know what's funny is bulging them would take them down to 18, which is what they would have been, or 1 knot slower, only 1 knot slower than they would have been. However, they do have torpedo defense too, so they're not like sitting so bad on that front. Probably a good thing to do would be take down the number of 6-inch guns and then get the dual purpose. As it is, having 40 light anti-aircraft is not bad. It's really not bad. But, I mean, it's not amazing either. I think I'm just going to stick with the light anti-aircraft for now. Oh man, this refit is so expensive though that I don't want to do that. I guess these things are just expensive to maintain as it is. So... Alright, let's think. What if I do something like this? Only 10 dual purpose guns. 3-inch dual-purpose guns are not nearly as effective as well. I'd rather get 4. I think 8 of 4 is probably better than 10 of 3. I could do the same thing. I can keep cutting down the number of secondary guns, but it's not really the ideal solution, I feel. You know what? I'm not going to do this. I think I already mentioned this, but I have a really good plan for the Blukers. Their eventual upgrade is going to be to get 5-inch dual-purpose guns as their secondaries, and then that's what they're going to do. So for now, we'll just leave them as they are and give them advanced director. It'll be over in 4 months. It's not that bad. Really wish we had put the 6-inch guns in secondary, in double turrets, but I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I didn't have the technology then. That feels weird to say because it feels like it should have been long ago that I had that, but... Alright, negative 20 million. We're really cranking through that money. Don't worry, Fido Draka. Tons of you guys. 8 of you. So many. We'll get these guys going in a little bit as well, and they do have a lot of weight remaining. So this is... Oh man, we didn't do... Why is everybody not in double turrets? What was I thinking? What? I don't know what's going on. Why did I do that? Get you into reserve. And just end the turn. Ah, weight seems in the hole. Okay, good. Oh, the Graf Zeppelin's here. Now, we haven't been doing an aircraft upgrade. I guess we ought to do that. So look, this float plane scout is, this one's poor, so we're just gonna kill it. That'll give this one some experience, and we'll see if it's also poor and reliability. Does the reliability, it seems like maybe it goes down over time. Wasn't one of these better than poor reliability? Anyway, I think our new request is going to be a fighter. I'm not a big fan of that. By the way, we haven't figured out if we can even do dive bombers or medium bombers. 1926, 1928. I guess it's just, I wanted to do this first. So we'll check and see if those are available. There's no, I mean, I think it's not a bug necessarily, but just an oversight. Frederick didn't script in anything or put in anything where you can actually check. There's the Graf Zeppelin. I mean, that's a nice aircraft carrier. Maybe this is what we end up leaving in the in Northern Europe. 47 aircraft. We can put like, say, 30 of them as fighters. Now, right now it's early enough. There's not a lot of anti-aircraft. I mean, there's not a lot of other carriers out there. Like, we have the only one. Oh, just kidding. The United States has gone crazy on light carriers. They're building, apparently, that can't be right, a 40,000 ton light carrier. I don't think that's possible. I think they have to be under 20,000, don't they? I don't know, though. It's still something new to me. Anyway, this Graf Zeppelin. Oh man, the Königseike and the Ballmung, they're just... 13 aircraft is such a pathetic amount. Now, most of the maintenance cost of these carriers is going to come out in terms of naval aircraft. So we can see that we have 96 airships at 18. That's essentially all of this? Holy cow. So we only have 26 aircraft at 8, which is like 200. So never mind. I mean, 200 is still, yeah. Basically, you double their maintenance if you want to include their aircraft. But when we put 47 on here, that's going to be a lot different. So let's get you done. We have the Graf Zeppelin. How do we want to do this? Let's add... 47. Let's add 8 fighters. Add air unit. 7 fighters. And we have 32 left. So we'll add 2 groups of 16 torpedo bombers. So right now she is going to be very attack heavy because I'm not expecting much resistance. Damn it. Okay, there. Perfect. Those airships really do cost a lot of maintenance. I'm thinking of maybe destroying those bases. I mean, those bases are not really doing anything for us. Oh, yes, and somebody pointed out, thankfully, somebody's paying attention, way back in episode 25, I believe, that the Mosuls are still at 1919 and 1910, which means all of these have to be refit. The reason why they haven't been refit is because they're always on foreign station. So we'll just do this the hard way. How many is this? 8. So let's get 8 Schlichtings, which is all of them, to foreign station. And now we can finally upgrade these 1910s to, rebuild as 1919s. And I'm going to do this just so we all keep them on the same class. And then the 1919s actually have to be rebuilt as well. And the Schlichtings have to be rebuilt. Everything needs to be rebuilt. Anyway, let's see. 1918, that's been a long time. These Gluckstads are all obsolete. So let's quickly refit them. Which I think is just going to be... What the hell? What in God's name is happening? What the hell is going on here? What? Maybe these won't get refit. I have no idea why. For some reason, which is completely unknown to me, when I go to refit them, they are just incredibly overweight. And they really just need a splash of new paint, but... Can you even do this? Yeah, you can't even save it. What? Well, look, we could... I don't think this is going to work. It's probably going to be not good somehow. We're still overweight. What the frickin' heck? I have no idea. We can put 4 mines on her, and that's how much space we have. So yeah, just go ahead and put 4 mines on her. I have no idea what's going on. In fact, we can take this down to the next one and get 5 mines on her. She's not going to be shooting those 3-inch guns anyway. And just because I care, look how much I care. See how much he cares. Oops. There. It's beautiful. So we'll save the Gluckstad again. She's down 1 torpedo, but she still has the same broadside torpedo capability. Oh, max 4 torpedoes, so we might as well get that ammo back up. You might need it. Oh, we'll take her down to 3. We don't want to redo the ammo. It doesn't make sense that a destroyer should take 12 months. There's already been a threat on that. Everyone kind of agrees, but who knows? It's probably a low priority for Frederick to fix the fact that you would take almost as long to rebuild a destroyer as it would be to change the amount of ammunition they store. So a little bit bizarre, but that's fine. Okay, so let's save this one as is. Actually, you know what? Her refit cost is going to be so cheap. I mean, this is actually semi-expensive. No, we might go to war. I want them back quickly, so we'll just get them back quickly. 4 mines. I don't know if her ASW will be affected. It would be really nice to get depth charge storage. I don't see this as a possibility. Okay, let's save. We get it. We did it. These damn ships. All right, they're all done. And we actually have to hit enter the entire time all those come out because the game has not... although it has a nice system to sort all the newly constructed destroyers, it doesn't have the same system for when they're rebuilt. Same story here with the Bratwurstels. It's been a while, 1918, since they've been... I think that this year is actually showing these guys as obsolete. It is. So yeah, let's rebuild these as well. What the frickin' heck is happening? Oh my god. Oh my god, I know what happened. I know what happened. I gave these to Finish Jaeger, and I think that he just... I think in his save game it's different, and I reloaded them. I think I know what happened. So, I might have to fudge this stuff off camera. Damn it. Anyhow. So apparently I can't give people designs in the game and then get the designs back because something got messed up. Obviously this just doesn't make sense. It almost makes these classes unusable. Like this one is almost unusable. We'll decrease the tubes down to 1 as well. That's fine because it's not about the tubes. It's really about... This one's a minesweeper. So it doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect the Bratwurstel's performance, so we can keep it, but... Yeah. It is an unfortunate thing. Hey, she can get 3 light anti-aircraft guns. Oh, she can get 1. Give her a big machine gun. It's probably as big as her 3-inch guns. How much is it? Okay, I'm willing to spend an extra 8. Really willing to spend an extra 8,000 to get them all equipped with that. That's fine. Alright, so we'll just have to be very mindful of... I won't be able to give my ships away to other people to fix, apparently. Which is really sad, but... Just have to be mindful of that. I think it was my fault, actually. I think it's fine if I do it immediately. If I give them the save game, get the ship changes, and then immediately implement them. That was probably fine, but the thing is, I think I gave the save game and then put those files in much later. I'm afraid to see what happens with the Balkenheim. Maybe there's something changed in the patch. I don't know, but this is an effect for all of them so far. I don't think we're going to end up... Okay, we can do this. She has a lot of... we could upgrade the guns, but I'm just not going to. So she loses 1 torpedo, but this is just an old class anyway, so... We just need them to be refit. Look at our number of ships is actually down to less than 1 page now. Are these also messed up? See, these are not. And those are darn good fleet protectors. Okay, so far so good. I'm pretty happy with everything we got going on. Let's get you to reserve. Especially I don't think we ever need carriers to be anything but in reserve. Even if we know war's coming, was fine because their airplanes are the airplane crew is what matters, not the ship crew. Okay, next turn. Okay, better stuff is happening. See, the tech sharing agreement with the United States was a very good decision. Since we have the extra money, I will... Never mind, I will wait for the already being built bigger docks to finish. Alright, so these guys are finishing their construction. I don't think I'll send them to Southeast Asia quite yet. We don't... Oh my gosh. Yes, we have to. So the ship name Stoles. Wow, it's way down there. No, I don't want that. I don't mean no likey. AP projectiles. Later air launch torpedoes. Improves hit chances of air launch torpedoes. Wonderful. Wow. We can now build air bases with capacity 40 aircraft. Well, that's kind of a mixed blessing. I guess we'll go ahead and upgrade everything. Especially in Europe, where I'm hoping land-based air power is the most important thing. Where other places might we need it? I don't know. I guess we'll leave everything else where it is for now. This episode's actually gone already 36 minutes. Let's do this. Because I don't want to mobilize my ships. But, oh god, it's this turn. The turn we dreaded. It's here. It's finally upon us. I might accidentally go one extra turn by holding this down, but that's the price we pay. February. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh, interesting! Italy and Russia signed a treaty to contain German aggression. Our technology sharing has benefited us in light forces and torpedo warfare. We actually haven't had that many improvements in that. And also another improvement in anti-aircraft artillery. And also turbo-electric drive. Oh no, this is just us having... We're baffled about the problems of it. Okay, improved model of float plane Scout. Very good, we'll check that out. It looks like it's only better in 1 toughness. That's not very useful. Okay, so let's take a look at the state of affairs. Russia, Italy. If we were to go to war with Russia, we would mainly need a big base in Kiasho Bay, which we already have. And hopefully we'd be able to actually invade the Lautong Peninsula. We'd actually have the Russian forces pinned. Completely okay. So that's the only thing we'd have to worry about. Now with Italy, I should script them in having Marshall Islands. And then the only 2 things we have to worry about are... Well, I think we'd actually would move a big fleet to the Mediterranean. Unfortunately, none of the Bluchers would make it because they're all short range. So that would be a problem. We'd have to defeat them with submarines, actually, I think. Which we very easily could do. How many submarines do we have right now? Maybe not enough. 100. Well, that's a pretty good number. As far as submarines go, 100 is actually kind of average. It's on the high side, but Russia and Japan both have more. So ASW would need to be in tip-top shape in order to combat these. Yeah, for Italy, it's mainly the Indian Ocean and then Central Pacific if we give them Marshall Islands, which I plan to do. Oh god, it's another turn. Good. Any further slumps are unacceptable. That's clearly the case here. Ouch. Well, it looks like it could be Italy here. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to set their intel to low. I don't really care. We don't want intel very high with the United States because we don't want to risk our tech sharing agreement. We're the only one benefiting from it, it appears. So, new docks are complete. 60 submarines. Wow. Fantastic. 21 additional destroyers. Well, we'll obviously say, of course, sir. Better pre-battle enemy strength assessment. Okay, that's, I guess, useful. Torpedo bomber is a private venture. Let's see what you got. Good speed, better range, 3, 7, 8. Well, maneuverability they don't have, which is kind of like the key thing for me. It's a little bit better in a lot of ways, but it's not. It's a lot worse in one of the ways which I think matters most. So we're gonna say cancel. Surprised this fighter's taking so long to develop. And we're only minus 4 million, so we're kind of in the position where we could build these 21 destroyers. Looking at the fleet, let's take a look at it from a bigger perspective. We have 15 and 8 now, and with 6 rebuilding, you know, I actually feel pretty comfortable about our capital ship allotment. The only nation we'd really have a problem with is the United States, and probably also we'd have a problem with Great Britain. We would just have to fight a big battle very quickly in order to, you know, very quickly knock down their fleet to size. I don't understand this. They have 3 light cruisers. What? France is literally at 0 light cruisers. So people might be cutting their airships at this point. We're still using ours, but you can see the naval aircraft numbers. 414 for the US. Second is France, actually, with 383, and that could be dangerous. Damn it, so we are going to start needing cap. Okay. Well, let's build the bigger docks, just in case we want them. You can see that we did want them, so there might be another time where we want them again. I want to take a look at it before I call this video to a close. Let's take a look at our capacity. West Africa's good. India, I mean, they're all pretty good. The Caribbean is not good. That stands corrected. Southern Africa is not amazing, but I guess that's the one place we don't really need that much. So, oh, you know what? We really have to build 2 fortifications here. I'm glad that we checked this. Good. And on top of that, let's improve Panama's size. Base capacity of 20, actually. It's pretty good. Let's improve this base as well, just to give us a little more oomph in the Caribbean. Man, if we go to war with the UK, there are so many different places we have to be careful about. And mind you, what the heck is up with our amphibious invasions? They've been on high for forever, and we're stuck on level 1. This might be a bug. I mean, I say that because I got level 2 and 3 by around 1920, 1922 in my other game. Not really sure what's going on there. We can probably put... What can we put down to medium? I actually, frankly, I think... Oh, we have improved quadruple turrets. I didn't get that. I forgot. That was probably maybe in a message when we had all the destroyers popping out. I was just spamming enter or just holding it down to get through. So we do have improved quadruple turrets. That's really nice. I was actually thinking about making our Nelson class, the Rodney Nelson Richelieu type thing, as like a Richelieu, which was 2 quadruple turrets. I would actually have preferred that, but there's still time. So we probably do something like a 4-4-3, which is a fantastic football position. I mean, football defensive formation. American football. Ah, Nigeria. They don't have an advanced director? Well, look, we should be sharing with them anyway, so the fact that they're going to pay us for it is fine by me. Well, I'm going to put a cut in the video here, actually, because I need to stop and think about what the heck we want to do. I don't think we're going to get a destroyer in time. The thing we're missing with destroyers is the dual-purpose guns as primaries. So without that, I'm kind of at a loss of what to do. Do we want to build more destroyers? I mean, yes. We probably want to build them with even more torpedoes than just 8. Yeah, I actually think that I should have rethought. I forgot what we called this class, this previous class, but I could see a forward superimposed, and aft, double 4-inch guns. Cannot do dual purpose. Don't need that much ammo. And then the more important thing... Oh, we could actually get dual purpose secondaries, but no. By the way, what's our limit? Oh, 1900. Speed. Okay. So this is okay, but if we add one more turret, is it going to be okay? Oh my gosh, it is. Now we're speaking my language. Holy cow. Now we're speaking my language. Okay, can we get this? What? I was really hoping that the number of mines would go up to 20 at 2,000, but they don't. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. She's actually really good at ASW as well, which was not ever my intent, but still is fantastic to me. We probably do need another minesweeper. But this is a really good ship. 35 knots. We can go faster than that now in Rule the Waves 2. Does not have very good anti-aircraft armament. But she is going to have a lot of mines. She's going to help a lot strategically. And the more important thing, the most important thing perhaps, is that she is going to just rain down hell upon enemy battleship and battlecruiser formations with 11 torpedoes. Wow. So that's one way of doing it. We don't want to name her that. I thought I had a thing. We have... Oh, yeah. Well... Is there... Ah, okay. Well, there we go. Let's choose this instead. So I think I'll save it and go with it. It's a bit expensive, but 7.4 million. Let's just save it. The design itself is not going to take very much work. And considering the disposition of enemy forces, the composition I should say, such a torpedo destroyer is going to be very valuable, I predict. Okay, so that's it. We'll end by all means. Here they are. Okay, so we have this one's faster. What the hell? Why is firepower so hard to come by? I mean, this top one is almost better. Nope, just have to cancel. We'll just go back. Okay, rework the design. Don't think there's anything to rework. Could we get more K guns? Yes, and in fact, it's probably worth dropping the AA guns, which is just personal protection. I don't care too much about that. I'd rather have more ASW. So we'll do this, and we'll save this again. Actually, I want more rounds per gun as well. I mean, we're basically not going to care about anti-aircraft at all. So we might as well just boost this a whole bunch. She may end up needing to fire her guns a lot. Okay, I'm happier with this. Not a lot of anti-aircraft, but all that it's going to do is help them protect themselves. Since it's not adding anything to the fleet, I'm almost okay with it. Okay, one more month. Rebellion in Nigeria continues. And oh my god, it's 45 more 9 minutes. Dual purpose. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Increases. We gotta go. We'll rework the design and we'll pick this up in the next episode. Until now, thanks for watching and take care.